subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Friends, now the question says, name the Indian origin has been appointed as the first Vice President and COO, Chief Operating Officer of New York-based Federal Reserve Bank. So, name the first origin has been appointed as Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of New York-based Federal Reserve Bank. We'll see the options. Options are A. G.S. Sandhu, B. Sudha Balakrishnan, C. Naurin Hassan, D. Charanjit Atra. E. None of these. Friends, the right answer is option C. It is Naurin Hassana. So the Federal Reserve System, so it is a central bank system of our United States of America, USA. So like our for India it is RBI, our Federal Reserve Bank. So like that, for USA, that bank name is Federal Reserve Bank. So here the question is, name the Indian origin. So Naurin Hassan is our Indian origin. So he has appointed as first Vice President and COO of New York based this Federal Reserve Bank. So he is the first Indian origin. So to that cadre, to that post. So you need to remember Naurin Hassan. So he is Indian origin person. So when it comes to this Federal Reserve Bank, so it was established in year 1913. So when it comes to static part, you need to remember this Federal Reserve Bank of USA. So this bank established in year 1913, December 23. So when it comes to chairman name is Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell, he is the chairman of this Federal Reserve Bank. Now moving on to next question. The question says, who has been appointed as Revenue Secretary of India? Who has been appointed as Revenue Secretary of India? We'll see the options. Options are A. Debashish Chakravarti, B. Sanjay Kumar, C. Indrajit Arora, D. Tarun Bajaj. E. None of these. We'll see the right answer. Right answer is option D. Tarun Bajaj. Now central government center has given additional charge of the post of this Revenue Secretary to current Economic Affairs Secretary Tarun Bajaj. So present Tarun Bajaj handling Economic Affairs Secretary. So additional to this job, our central government has given additional charge for the post of Revenue Secretary. So now he is handling both Revenue Secretary as well as Economic Affairs Secretary. So when it comes to Tarun Bajaj background, so Sri Tarun Bajaj, he is 1988 batch Haryana cadre IAS officer. So he replaces Finance Secretary Ajay Bhushan Pandey. So earlier in this place, Revenue Secretary, his name is Ajay Bhushan Pandey. So he replaces this Tarun Bajaj. So now Tarun Bajaj becomes the Revenue Secretary of India. Now moving on to next question. The question says, the Reserve Bank of India has included the Fino Payment Bank in the second schedule of RBI Act. In RBI Act year they are asking this question. So RBI has included this Fino Payment Bank in the second schedule of RBI Act. So that Act name you are asking. We'll see the options. Options are A. 1935, B. 1949, C. 1969, D. 1934. Friends, here our answer is option D. It is 1934. So RBI has included the Fino Payment Banks in the second schedule of RBI Act 1934. So Fino Payment Bank has recently been designated as Scheduled Commercial Banks by Reserve Bank of India under the Act 1934. You need to remember here. Now Fino Payment Bank has included in second schedule of Reserve Bank of India. Now moving on next question. The question says, Matam Venkat Rao has recently been appointed as new MD and CEO of which bank? Matam Venkat Rao, MV Rao, he has appointed recently as MD and CEO of which bank? We'll see the options. Options are A. Bandhan Bank, B. Canara Bank, C. Central Bank of India, D. Union Bank of India. In none of these. Friends, right answer is option C. It is Central Bank of India. So earlier he is ED of Canara Bank. Now he became MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. So he moved from Canara Bank to Central Bank of India. So you need to remember, friends, the right answer is option C. It is Central Bank of India. Matam Venkat Rao, he is appointed as MD and CEO of Central Bank of India. Earlier he was ED, Executive Director for Canara Bank. Now he moved to Central Bank of India as MD and CEO. Friends, now moving on to next question. The question says, Yield is an online platform to buy and sell bonds as well as debentures in the secondary market, launched by which company recently? Simply, which company has launched this Yield, an online platform for buy and sell these bonds as well as debentures? We'll see the options. Options are A. Kotak Securities, B. Axis Securities, C. Relief, D. Sundaram Paribas. Friends, we will see the right answer. Right answer is option B, Axis Securities. Yes, friends, Axis Securities announced they are going to launch. So they launched already that Yield. It is an online platform they made for buy and sell bonds as well as debentures in the secondary market. So with a simple investment process, this Yield is the first of its kind initiative. So this allows retail investors direct access to these debt instruments. The debt instruments that are these bonds as well as debentures. Friends, when it comes to this Axis Securities, it is 100% subsidiary company of Axis Bank. So Axis Direct, it is a flagship brand under this Axis Securities. So it is 100% subsidiary of Axis Bank. Now moving on next question. The question says, who has been ranked as top billionaire in the Hurun Global Rich List 2021? Who has been ranked as top billionaire in the Hurun Global Rich List 2021? We'll see the options. Options are A. Elon Musk, B. Jeff Bezos, C. Bernard Arnault, D. Bill Gates. In none of these. So the right answer is option A. Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he belonged to USA. So his age is 49. So he became the top billionaire in the Hurun Global Rich List in 2021. Followed by Jeff Bezos, age 57. He belonged to also USA. And third billionaire Bernard Arnault, his age is 71. He belonged to France. And fourth position Bill Gates, his age is 65. He belonged to USA only. So out of this, Elon Musk, he is the top billionaire among global billionaires that released by Hurun Global Rich List. Hurun Global Rich List has recently released top billionaires in the world. So in that list, Elon Musk became the first top billionaire in that list year 2021. Now next question says, which bank signed MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the Indian Army for salary accounts? Which bank signed MOU with Indian Army for salary accounts? Which is options. Options are A. HDFC Bank, B. Kotak Mahindra Bank, C. Axis Bank, D. Citibank. In none of these. Right answer is option B. Kotak Mahindra Bank. So this MOU was signed to provide salary accounts of all active and retired army personnel. So especially these accounts, the salary accounts provided to all active and retired army personnel. So the bank will also provide additional benefits to army personnel. So this MOU will enable the bank to offer more products and services to active and retired army personnel. So like zero balance salary accounts and low rate of interest loans and with earn around 4% interest on their savings. So they are giving more. So usually in now banks reduce their salary their savings bank interest now. So this Kotak Mahindra Bank is going to give around 4% per annum as interest for savings deposits. So when it comes to static part of this Kotak Mahindra Bank headquarters, it is Mumbai. When it comes to tagline, let's make money simple. It is the tagline of Kotak Mahindra Bank. So simply you remember Kotak Mahindra Bank and Indian Army made one MOU. So for Indian Army people for opening salary accounts. That's it. Now moving on next question. The question says, which organization launched RuPay Soft POS payment solution for merchants? Which organization launched this RuPay Soft POS payment solution for merchants? We'll see the options. Options are A. MasterCard, B. SBI card, C. NPCI, D. BNC, means SBI payment and NPCI. In none of these. So friends, is the right answer. Right answer is option D. It is BNC. Yes, SBI Payment Bank and NPCI. So this RuPay Soft POS, a solution which was launched for millions of Indian merchants by NPCA in a partnership with whom? With SBA Payments. So this solution will offer an innovative approach to transform this NFC, near field communication enabled smartphones, into merchants POS, point of sale terminals for the retailers. So with the help of this RuPay Soft POS solution, so merchants will be able to perform contactless payments of up to 5,000 rupees through tap and pay mechanism. Friends, this point you need to remember regarding to this question. So the main usage for this RuPay Soft POS is, so the merchants will be able to perform contactless payments of up to 5,000 through tap and pay mechanism on smartphone mobiles only. So that is the answer. It is SBA and NPCA. So they made this a platform. That platform name is RuPay Soft POS. So maximum 5,000 rupees through contactless they can pay. Now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of this NPCA, it is Mumbai, and present MD and CEO of NPCA, Dilip Asbe. Now moving on to next question. The question says, which insurance company had launched Business Kist Suraksha Insurance Cover? Business Kist Suraksha Insurance Cover. Which company has launched? Which insurance company? Its options. Options are A. Universal Sompo General Insurance Company, B. Max Life Insurance, C. Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, D. HDFC Ergo General Insurance. None of these. The right answer is option D, HDFC Ergo General Insurance. So the HDFC Ergo General Insurance has launched this Business Kist Suraksha Insurance Cover. So this scheme, this Business Kist Suraksha, it is an insurance cover that offers financial protection to balance sheets of microfinance institutions and financial institutions and banks in the case of any natural calamity or disasters. That's most important question. You need to remember answer. This scheme, especially this Business Kist Suraksha scheme, is a protection, a financial protection to balance sheets of microfinance institutions, financial institutions and banks in case of any natural calamity or disasters. So this insurance cover was launched with an aim to reduce the negative impact on balance sheets, which occur due to non-payment of EMIs by borrower or due to natural calamities like earthquakes, cyclones and floods. So they are going to reduce this negative impact on these type of risk, no? So that is why they made this type of insurance cover. So this Business Kist Suraksha Insurance Cover launched by HDFC Ergo General Insurance Company. So when it comes to static part, this company headquarters it is Mumbai. Now next question says, the Employees Provident Fund Organization EPFO announced to maintain 8.5% of the annual rate of interest on PF Provident Fund for the year 2021. So the question is, who is the present CEO of EPFO? Friends, when you see first part of the question, so the EPFO is going to maintain a rate of interest of annual 8.5. So that is, now EPFO, their provident fund rate of interest is for the year 2021, it is 8.5. So the question is, who is the present CEO of this EPFO? These are the options. Options are A. Santosh Gangwar, B. Sunil Bharatwal, C. Rajiv Malhotra, D. Manoj Sinha. None of these. Friends, right answer is option B. It is Sunil Bharatwal. Sunil Bharatwal, he is present CEO of EPFO. So when it comes to EPFO, it is one of the world's largest social security organization. So in terms of client and volume of financial transactions undertaken. So at present, this EPFO maintaining around 19 crores plus accounts. So they are pertaining to its members. So EPFO maintaining 19 crore accounts. They are maintaining this total this provident fund accounts. So they are going to give interest for the year 2020. It is 8.5%. So present EPFO CEO name is Sunil Bharatwal. So that's all about that is regarding to this question. So and also one more thing you have to remember, this EPFO, this Employees Provident Fund Organization, It is works under Ministry of Labor and Employment, Government of India. This point also you need to remember in exam point of view. They may ask APFO is works under which ministry. So at that time you have to give answer Ministry of Labor and Employment of Government of India. So under Labor and Employment Ministry this EPFO is working. So the headquarters of this EPFO it is New Delhi. New Delhi. Now next one says name the chairman of Muthoot Group who passed away recently. So recently it is a sad news. Recently our Muthoot Group chairman has passed away. So they are asking Muthoot Group chairman name. These are the options. Options are A. George Thomas Muthoot, B. G.M. Muthoot, C. Neha George Muthoot, D. M.G. George Muthoot. In none of these. Friends, right answer is option D. M.G. George Muthoot. So he is the chairman of Muthoot Group. So recently he passed away. So when it comes to this Muthoot Group having around 5,000 plus branches all over India, and they are having around 56,000 crore of their loan book. So 56,000 crores rupees they have already lended. So when it comes to customer frequency, so they are having 6 million customers. So under Muthoot Group, so they are having 6 million customers. So the chairman name is M.G. George Muthoot. So he is recently passed away. Now moving on, next question. The question says which bank has invited applications from startups and solo entrepreneurs for its startup grant under Parivartan, the bank's umbrella CSR brand. So simply which bank, there is certain bank, that bank having the CSR brand, that is corporate social responsibility brand, that name is Parivartan. So under this scheme, so they are seeking applications from startups and solo entrepreneurs. So they are asking which bank that is. Which is the options. Options are A. HDFC Bank, B. Kotak Mahindra Bank, C. Axis Bank, D. Citibank. Right answer is option A. It is HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank has been inviting applications from startups and solo entrepreneurs for their startup grant under this Parivartan scheme. So it is bank's CSR brand. So this Parivartan is aimed at finding and deploying long-term sustainable solutions at scale to address social issues and contribute to the economic and social developments of the country. So this year the bank is focusing on startups creating this social impact at scale in sectors such as education, technology and skill development among others. Simply remember HDFC Bank. This bank having a startup, this bank seeking application from startup companies and the new entrepreneurs. So that CSR brand name it is Parivartan. That's all. Friends, now let me start the question. The question says name the new CEO and MD of Asset Reconstruction Company India Limited, ARCIL, appointed recently. So they are asking who is the new MD CEO of this ARCIL. Which is the options. Options are A. Alok Dir, B. Mehul Gandhi, C. Pallav Mohapatra, D. Manjit Singh Kochar. Now we'll see the right answer for this question. The right answer is option C. Pallav Mohapatra. Yes, Pallav Mohapatra has been appointed as MD and CEO of this Asset Reconstruction Company India Limited. So first I will give you the brief idea about this ARCs, Asset Reconstruction Companies. So they are specialized agencies with a main role of resolving the stressed assets, means NPAs issue. This NPAs issuing by Indian banking system. So Indian banking system giving their NPAs to this ARCs. So these ARCs, this asset reconstruction companies are, so they are involved in buying these bad loans from Indian banks. So they will resell it. So they will recover that bad loans from the borrowers. So this is the main concept about this asset reconstruction companies. So present these ARCs are regulated by Reserve Bank of India. So this is regulator for this asset reconstruction companies, it is RBI. So when it comes to this question point of view, new MD and CEO of this Asset Reconstruction Company India Limited, ARCL. So the new MD name is Pallav Mohapatra. So this much is enough. Now moving on to next question. The question says name of the bank recently taken out of the Prompt Corrective Action PCA framework by RBI. So usually RBI imposing some banks under this PCA, Prompt Corrective Action. So under this name of the bank recently taken out. So which bank has which bank got which bank RBI taken back. So now we'll see the options. Options are A. Bank of India, B. Corporation Bank, C. Indian Overseas Bank, D. IDBI Bank. In none of these. Friends, the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, has taken on this IDBI Bank. So right answer is option D, IDBI Bank. So IDBI Bank recently came out from this PCA, Prompt Corrective Action. So how this IDBI got from this PCA means, so they made this framework, this out of this RBI now taken out, no, this prompt corrective action. So and the improving finances of the bank, so their finances has improved. So compared to earlier, this IDBI bank's financial positions are now good. That's why RBI remove this PCS. So there are some other banks also, they RBI kept under this PCA. So in that, out of that, IDBI now came out. Now, however, RBI is telling, however, it is subject to be certain conditions and continuous monitoring. So even though the RBI left this PCA on IDBI Bank, so they made certain conditions, and they will monitor. They will monitor this, continue on these financials. So that's all. So your answer is option D. It's IDBI Bank, now not in under PMC, Prompt Corrective Action. Now next question says, Imran Amin Siddiqui, who has been appointed as Executive Director ED of which bank? These are the options. Options are A. Punjab National Bank, B. Canara Bank, C. Indian Bank, D. Union Bank of India. In none of these. Friends, Imran Amin Siddiqui, he is a GM, he is General Manager of our state-owned Indian Bank. So right answer is option C, it is Indian Bank. So Indian Bank, for this Imran Amin Siddiqui ji, so he is appointed as ED of Executive Director of Indian Bank with effect from March 10th. For 3 years. Right answer is option C, Indian Bank. So simply remember, Indian Bank new ED name is Imran Amin Siddiqui. He appointed in this month, that is March. Now moving on next question. The question says, name the country topped the Economic Freedom Index 2021. So name the country topped the Economic Freedom Index 2021, released by US think tank. So the Heritage Foundation. So recently this the Heritage Foundation releasing this Economic Freedom Index 2021. No? So which country became the top? Which is options? Options are A. Israel, B. Poland, C. Singapore, D. Sweden. In none of these. Friends, Singapore. So right answer is option C. It is Singapore. So Singapore has topped this global ranking in Economic Freedom Index. So in Economic Freedom Index in 2021. So for the second year in a row, this published by US conservative think tank. No, so the think tank foundation name is the Heritage Foundation. So the overall score of the Singapore increased by 0.3 point to 89.7 in this edition. So last year also under this index, Singapore got first place. So this year also Singapore got first place. So in this edition, primarily due to an improvement in the score of government spending. So government is giving more freedom to for this their economic freedom. So for investors, they are making good freedom. So that is why under this Economic Freedom Index 2021, Singapore became the top country. Now next question says, so what is the rank of India in the Economic Freedom Index 2021 by the Heritage Foundation? So friends, last question we had seen on first top country in this index. No, so in this question, what is the India's rank? So we'll see the options. Options are A 148, A 148, B 121, C 156, 156, D 108. In none of these. Friends, right answer is it is option B. It is 121. So out of 184 countries, 184 countries out of, India became the 121. So India stood on 121 position. So India has become first place Singapore, as I told in the earlier question. Now it is India's rank is 121. So India has been placed at 121 position among 184 countries in the index. So with a score of 56.5. So out of 100. So India is put under mostly unfree category. So they kept this Heritage Foundation given under their Economic Freedom Index. No? So they kept India is put under mostly unfree category. Mostly unfree category. So you remember just our India's rank and first country and score of the India. That's it. Out of 100, India got score 56.5. So that's why India became 121 rank. Now moving on to next question. Next question says, OECD has projected. OECD, it is economic cooperation and development economic outlook. You need to remember OECD means Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, that's it. OECD has projected the global GDP growth at what percent for the year 2021. So this Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has given their GDP projection for this year 2021. No? So they're asking how much GDP they are expecting. Next options are A 5.1%, D 4.8%, C 4%, D 6% in none of this. Friends, the global GDP, this OECD is expecting 5.5%. So this global GDP growth is projected at 5.5% in the 2021, and they are expecting 4% in 2022. So in 2021, when present they are expecting 5.5, next year they are expecting 4%. So according to this Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, this is they are giving this releasing economic outlook. No, so it is interim report in the month of March. So India is said to be regain its title as the world's fastest growing major economy in 2021. So in this report, the overall global GDP, so global world GDP, they are expecting 5.5%. When it comes to India, so India will grow 12.6% in the 2021 when compared to 7.4% in 2020. That is minus 7.4%. So they have been due to this COVID pandemic, they have given minus 7.4% GDP now. So they are saying they are expecting this 2021 GDP will grow 12.6%. So just you remember, global GDP will be how much percentage? It is 5.5%. So the right answer is option B, 5.5%. So global GDP, you remember 5.5, and our India's GDP will grow by 12.6%. That's all. Friends, now next question says, which bank has launched Startup Unnati to support women entrepreneurs? So which bank has launched this support campaign? Well, these options are A, HDFC Bank, B, Kotak Mahindra Bank, C, Axis Bank, D, Citibank, in none of these. Friends, our India's largest private sector bank, HDFC. The answer is option A, HDFC has launched this dedicated mentoring program that they are calling. This program name is Startup Unnati. So the main purpose is to support women entrepreneurs. That's all. Women entrepreneurs, they are supporting this Startup Unnati. Now next question says, SEBI has recently cancelled the certificate of registration of which company as sub-broker due to failure in fit and proper criteria in terms of intermediaries regulations. Simply friends, recently SEBI has cancelled the registration of one brokerage company, so due to failure in fit and proper criteria. So as per SEBI guidelines, so they are asking that company name. We'll see the options. Options are A, Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Corporation, B, Magma FinCorp, C, Peerless Group, D, Sahara India Financial Corporation, in none of these. Friends, recently our market regulator SEBI has cancelled the certificate of registration of this Sahara India Financial Corporation. Option D is the right answer for this question. Recently SEBI cancelled the license of this Sahara India Financial Corporation as sub-broker. So the decision has been taken by SEBI due to failure of this SAFCLs to fulfill the fit and proper criteria in terms of intermediaries regulations. So this company is registered at ROC Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh. So they cancelled this company's license, Sahara India Financial Corporation, as subgroup of this SEBI. Now moving on to next question. The question says, SEBI has set up a group of experts to examine the feasibility in order to implement SPACS. The question is, expand this SPACS. Friends, SEBI has set up a group of expert committee to examine feasibility in order to implement this SPACS. So the question is expanding this SPACS. First we will see the options. Options are A, special purpose acquisition corporates, B, social purpose acquisition companies, C, special purpose acquisition companies, D, social purpose acquisition corporates, in none of these. So friends, when right answer to this question is, it is option C, it is special purpose acquisition companies. First I will give brief idea about these companies. So usually these special purpose acquisition companies are the blank check companies. So they are not having any business plan while seeking the investors money. So usually these companies are seeking money from investors, no? So that time SEBI has made an expert committee to monitor and to boost their funds when these companies are coming for IPOs. So that is the basic concept behind this SPSES. So the Security Exchange Board of India, this Security Exchange Board of India SEBI has constituted an expert of committee to examine the feasibility in order to implement these special purpose acquisition companies. So as I told you, these companies are the blank check companies. So they are not having any business idea, any business plans while seeking money from investors. Now moving on next question. The question says, and one more thing, guys, this background of SEBI. SEBI headquarters it is Mumbai, and SEBI present chairman Ajay Tyagi. Ajay Tyagi. Now next question says, recently Union Cabinet approved PMSSN as a single non-lapsable reverse fund. Which ministry is managed by this PMSSN? Friends, first you need to remember what is abbreviation of this PMSSN. Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. So it is a, they are saying in the question itself, it is a single non-lapsable reserve fund. So this fund, the government how much allocated to this fund? It is non-lapsable reserve fund. The question is, which ministry is managed this PMSSN? Now we'll see the options. Options are A, Ministry of Ayush, B, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, C, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, D, Ministry of Finance. In none of these. Friends, the right answer is option C. It is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So recently, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given some fund, has raised some fund for this PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. So it is approved as a single non-lapsable reserve fund. So it is approved for the share of health from the proceeds of health and education cess levied under Section 136 of this Finance Act 2007. So when it comes to this PMSSN, it is a non-lapsable reserve fund allocated for health in the public account. So especially this fund is allocated for public health purpose. So it is comprised of proceeds for a share of health in the health and education cess. So the revenue of this fund will be utilized for schemes of health ministry like National Health Mission and Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana and Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers. So for this purpose, this fund will also be used for emergency cases also. So simply you remember, this fund is for public health. So that is the main unit, remember. And this fund is managed by which ministry? It is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And you remember the abbreviation of this PMSSN, Pradhan Mantri Swasthya Suraksha Nidhi. So that is the basic unit, remember, a basic idea on this question. Now also you need to remember this PMSSN will be managed by, so as I told you, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So this is the main motto is the PMSSN will ensure access to healthcare services. So they are concentrating on healthcare services by ensuring that amount does not lapse at the end of the financial year. So at the end of the financial year, that amount does not lapse. Now the question says, which bank has become India's first bank to launch an instant EMI facility on an internet banking platform? I'll repeat question once again. Which bank has become India's first bank to launch an instant EMI facility? Instant EMI facility which is on platform, internet banking platform. Now let's see the options. Options are A, SBI, B, Axis Bank, C, ICICI Bank, D, Union Bank of India. In none of these. Friends, here right answer is option C. It is ICICI Bank. Yes, ICICI Bank has become India's first bank to launch this as instant EMI facility on internet banking platform. So not in branch platform, it is on internet banking platform. So this ICICI Bank is partnership with BillDesk and RozoRPay. These two are BillDesk and RozoRPay is payment platforms. So this ICICI Bank has partnership with these two companies, BillDesk and RozoRPay. They launched an instant EMI facility. That name they kept as EMI at internet banking. So that facility, that EMI facility name they are calling as EMI at internet banking. So you remember here ICICI Bank, and it is first instant EMI facility on internet bank platform. So that platform name they are calling as EMI at internet banking. So these 3 points you need to remember. Now when it comes to static part of ICICI Bank it is headquarters, it is Mumbai, and ICICI Bank President MD and CEO Sandeep Bakshi. Sandeep Bakshi. So here the answer is ICICI Bank. Now moving forward, now next question says a Standing External Advice Committee SEAC, a Standing External Advisory Committee formed by Reserve Bank of India to evaluate applications of universal banks and small finance banks. That's also for a Standing External Advisory Committee as found by RBI for to evaluate applications of universal banks and small finance banks. That is, now the question is, who is head of that Standing External Advisory Committee? The question is, who is head of that Standing External Advisory Committee? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Shaktikant Das, B. Ashima Goyal, C. Michael Debatra Patra, and D. Shamala Gopinath. In none of these. Friends, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, has set up a 5-member Standing External Advisory Committee to evaluate applications of on-tap, that is licensing of these universal banks and small finance banks. So this committee will be chaired by our former Deputy Governor, name is Shamala Gopinath. So here the right answer is option D, it is Shamala Gopinath. So this panel will have a tenure of 3 years. Friends, RBI formed an advisory committee. So for what? For evaluate applications for giving license of these universal banks and small finance banks. Now for this committee, for this Standing External Committee, this is advisory committee headed by our former Deputy Governor Shamala Gopinath. So this committee they evaluate applications of giving license to universal banks and small finance banks. Now next question says Sri Lanka has signed a 10 billion yuan currency swap deal with which country? Sri Lanka has signed a 10 billion yuan currency swap deal with which country? So in question itself we will find answer. So now we'll see the options. Options are A. Japan, B. Singapore, C. China, D. USA. In none of these. Friends, the right answer is option C, it is China. Yes friends, Sri Lanka has recently signed a currency swap deal with China for 3 years. So this deal, this 10 billion deal, they signed for 3 years. So what is the amount? The amount is 1.5 billion, which is equal to 1.5 billion US dollars, means it is 10 billion yuans. So this Sri Lanka has signed this 10 billion yuan currency swap deal with China. So with the main motive is to promote bilateral trade and direct investment between these two countries. Hence the main point is so to promote bilateral trade and direct investment between these two countries, with Sri Lanka and China. So the deal worth is 10 billion, which is equal to 1.5 billion US dollars. 10 billion yuan is equal to 1.5 billion US dollars. So right answer is option C, China. So remember, Sri Lanka, China, the deal is 10 billion yuans or 1.5 billion US dollars for bilateral trade between these two countries. Now next question says, which ministry inaugurated Central Scrutiny Center CSC and Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority IEPA mobile app on March 25th, 2021? Friends, which ministry inaugurated this CSC and this IEPF mobile app? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, B. Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, C. Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, D. Ministry of Commerce and Industry. In none of these. Friends, the Central Security Center CSC and Investor Education and Protection Fund Authorities IEPF. So they launched a mobile app recently
by our Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So Nirmala Sitharaman has launched on behalf of their ministry. So that ministry name is option C. It is option C, Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. So this Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on behalf of Ministry of Finance and Corporation has released this mobile app. So these two initiatives have been developed by our Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So the Central Scrutiny Center and Investor Education and Protection Fund Authorities has recently released a mobile app. So this mobile app launched by our Indian Finance Minister on behalf of Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs. So its answer is option C. Now next question says Reserve Bank of India imposed rupees dash penalty on Fed Bank Finance Services Limited recently. So recently this Fed Bank Finance Services, it is Mumbai based subsidiary company of our Federal Bank. So recently RBI imposed a penalty, certain rupees of penalty on this Fed Bank Finance Services. Now they are asking how much penalty they imposed on this bank. Now which is the options? Options are A 10 lakhs, B 12 lakhs, C 15 lakhs, D 18 lakhs, in none of these. Friends, RBI imposed a rupees of 15 lakh penalty on this Fed Bank Financial Services Limited. So this penalty was imposed for not following the directions framed by this Reserve Bank of India in terms of monitoring of frauds in NBFC's direction 2016. So RBI imposed this 15 lakhs under monitoring of frauds in NBFC's directions 2016. So as per this act, they imposed this 15 lakhs penalty on this Fed Bank Finance Services. It is subsidiary company of our Federal Bank. So as per RBI, a statutory inspection of company with reference to its financial position as on 31st March 2019, they revealed that non-compliance with directions. So in this regard, RBI has issued a notice to the company to mention why penalty should not be imposed on for failure of following these directions by RBI. So that is why RBI imposed 15 lakh penalty on this Fed Bank Finance Services. Now moving forward, next question. The question says, Axis Securities. Axis Securities has become the successful bidder to acquire the trading accounts of which stock brokerage company recently? Friends, you might have seen recent news. One stock brokerage company has merged with Axis Securities now. So they're asking that company name. So I see here Axis Securities has become a successful bidder to acquire. So the trading accounts of which stock brokerage company recently. Now we'll see the options of the stock brokerage companies. Out of that you can find right one. Now option A, it is Motilal Oswal. Option B, Karvy Stock Brokerage Limited, Broking Limited. Option C, Angel Brokerage. Option D, Zerodha. Option E, none of these. Friends, Axis Securities, it is a fully owned subsidiary of our Axis Bank. So Axis Bank has become the successful bidder to acquire the Axis Securities has become the successful bidder to acquire this trading accounts of Karvy Brokerage Stock Broking Limited. It is option B. So it is stock broking of Karvy. So Karvy customers can start trading with Axis Securities to make the best of available market opportunities. So to facilitate a seamless transfer, Axis Securities has made the entire journey of digital and paperless. So simply by clicking on link that is Karvy, customers can activate their what we can say this Karvy customers can activate their trading account with Axis Securities and have an access to a robust technology with platform good products. So now the answer is Karvy Stock Brokerage Limited trading accounts. Every account is acquired by Axis Securities. Now Karvy Stock Broker shares customers can access through Axis Securities company website only. So they have to do day trading to this Axis Securities. Now when it comes to static part, this B. Gopakumar is present MD and CEO of this Axis Securities. This Axis Securities is the third largest player in the industry in terms of the stock brokerage companies. Around Axis Securities having 3.6 million trading accounts. So they are saying it is the third largest player in the industry. Now moving on next question, the question says Saurav Garg has been named as the new CEO of which? The new CEO of which government organization? Now which are the options? Options are A UIDAI, B EPFO, C Income Tax India, Income Tax of India, D NPCA, none of this. Friends, our senior bureaucrat Saurabh Garg has been named as the new CEO of Unique Identification Authority of India. It is UIDAI. So option A, it is the right answer. So this development is made as part of bureaucrat reshuffle announced by Center on the last Thursday. So at present, Garg is serving in his cadre as a state of Odisha. So he is 1991 IAS batch officer. So now the appointment committee of cabinet has received its final nod on this appointment of Garg as CEO of this UIDAI. UIDAI, Unique Identification Authority of India. So usually UIDAI is giving Aadhaar. So others know. So this now the appointment committee of this cabinet has received its final nod on this appointment of Garg as CEO. So UIDAI in the rank and pay of additional secretary stated and article generated by the personal ministry said. So prior to Garg, so Ajay Bhushan Pandey, he was the CEO of this UIDAI. So now our senior bureaucrat Saurabh Garg is going to be taken charge as CEO of this UIDAI. So you know this our earlier prior to Garg Ajay Bhushan Pandey, now he was named as the new finance secretary. Now, so we read in last session. So now UIDAI CEO name is Saurabh Garg. Now next question says name the new wholly owned subsidiary set up by public sector bank Punjab National Bank to manage its non-financial support services for credit card businesses. So name the new wholly owned subsidiary set up by public sector bank Punjab National Bank to manage its non-financial support services for credit card business. So for this we will see the options. Options are A Punjab E-Cards Limited, option B Punjab E-Services Limited, option C Punjab Cards India Limited, option D Punjab Cards and Services Limited. Friends, right answer is it is Punjab Cards and Services Limited. So it is a wholly owned subsidiary of our Punjab National Bank, our public sector Punjab National Bank. So it is handling credit cards and non-financial support services. So this subsidiary company handling all credit card transactions, credit card services, as well as non-financial services, supporting services to that Punjab National Bank customers. Now the right answer is option D. It is Punjab Cards and Services.
Now the question says which multinational telecommunications company in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solutions. I'll repeat the question once again. Which multinational telecommunication company in partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solution? Which is the options? Options are these are the multinational telecommunications companies. So option A it is Reliance, option B Samsung, option C Nokia, option D T-Mobiles. In none of these. Friend, right answer is option C. It is Nokia, and Nokia in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solutions. That is, it will be developed with the help of this Nokia's radio access network RAN technology. So these three companies has tied up with this Nokia. So for developing these 5G radio solutions. So if you want to know about this 5G, 5G is about to connecting things everywhere. So while enabling new use cases. So it is a 5G radio access network uses 5G ratio frequencies to provide wireless connectivity to devices to deliver these incredible applications. So it is more faster than 4G. It is advanced technology of 4G. So now 5G phones are coming now. So these three companies are working on this 5G. That's it. Just to remember, this Nokia in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop this 5G radio solutions. That's it. That is enough. Now next question says which insurance company launched the non-linked participating individual saving plan Bachat Plus plan recently? So which insurance company has launched this saving plan? That plan name is Bachat Plus plan. Which insurance company has launched this Bajaj Plus plan? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Life Insurance Corporation of India (LIC), B. United India Insurance (UICL), C. New India Insurance Company, D. Max Life Insurance Company. In none of these, friends, this Bajaj Plus it is launched by our LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, our state-owned insurance company. So this Bajaj Plus, it is a non-linked participating individual saving plan. So it offers protection and saving features by providing financial support for the family of deceased policyholders any time before maturity period. So the main concept, the main feature of this Bajaj Plus plan is it offers protection and saving feature by providing financial support to family members who are deceased persons. They are saying it offers 1 lakh of minimum basic sum assured with no upper limit. So it comes with a maturity period around 5 years. So the basic idea, if you want to know about this Bajaj Plus, you just Google it, and I'm giving this basic idea. So the policy amounts, the basic sum assured will be minimum 1 lakh, and that maturity period is 5 lakh. That you have to remember. And when it comes to static part of this question, the LIC. So LIC, it is headquarters Mumbai, and present chairman of LIC, his name is M.R. Kumarji. So M.R. Kumarji is the present chairman of every LIC. Now the question says, as per the data by Reserve Bank of India as in March, India has recently surpassed which country to become the 4th largest foreign exchange reserves in the world? So as per the RBI data on March, so our Indian country has recently surpassed which country to become the 4th largest foreign exchange reserves in the world? We'll see the options. Options are A. USA, B. UAE, C. Russia, D. Japan. In none of these, friends, our India's foreign exchange reserves surpassed Russia's. So we surpassed Russia's to become the world's 4th largest reserve. So now our India became the 4th largest reserve in terms of foreign exchange reserves. So the foreign currency holding of India, it stood at 580 US dollars, 580 billion US dollars as on March 5th. So as per data by Reserve Bank of India. So the reserve of Russia was 580.1 billion US dollars. Now India at 580.3 billion US dollars. So overall, China has the largest reserves in terms of foreign exchange reserves, followed by Japan and Switzerland. So this entire data given by Reserve Bank of India in India, but overall data, that world data, it is published in International Monetary Fund table. So as per this question concern, the RBI, as per the RBI data, our India surpassed Russia. So now India stood on at 580.3 billion US dollars. So India became the world's 4th largest reserves. Means foreign exchange reserves are, in terms of foreign exchange reserves, so India became the 4th position. Now moving on to next question. The question says, National Payment Corporation of India has launched a new application named Dash on BHIM UPI, which will act as a grievance redressal mechanism for the users of BHIM application, BHI application. Now we'll see the options. Options are UPI BHIM help, option B NPCI help, option C BHIM help, option D UPI help. Now your right answer is option D, it is UPI help. So NPCI has launched a new application. That application name is UPI help on BHIM UPI. So which will act as a grievance redressal mechanism for the users of BHIM application. So users who are using this BHIM UPI now, if they want to contact BHIM application, otherwise they are having some queries, means so their grievances, to take the grievances, this NPCI has made one application. That application name they are calling as UPI help. So through this UPI help, it will act as a grievance redressal mechanism. So our NPCA, National Payment Corporation of India, it is umbrella entity of digital payments in India. You know, no, it is umbrella entity. So all UPI transactions are coming on same platform, that is UPI platform. No? So this UPI help, it is launched by NPCA on BEAM UPI. It is a redressal mechanism, complaint redressal mechanism. So right answer is option D, it is UPI help. Now coming to next question, the question says the RBI has asked the banks to implement the image based check truncation system. Image based CTS, we'll call it as CTS. No, it is check truncation system in all branches by which date? The RBI has asked the banks to implement the image based check truncation system in all branches by which date? Is the options A 31st April 21, B 31st December 2021, option C 30th September 2021, option D 30th November 2021, and in none of this. Friends, the deadline set by Reserve Bank of India for all banks branches to implement this image based check truncation system means when this check truncation system, there won't be a physical travel of check from one place to another place. So usually we'll call it as this check truncation system. Means a check cannot travel from one bank to one branch, other bank, or one branch to other branch. So it will travel through image. So through image only it will travel, through mail or image. Then one branch can scan that image and can send to their clearing center. So that process we will call it as check trunking system. But as per RBI data, so not in India, not all branches not implemented this one. No? So now RBI is saying it should implement in all bank branches. So they are given time. So that date, the last date, that is deadline date is, it is option C 30th September 2021. So the deadline set by Reserve Bank of India for all bank branches to implement this image based truncation system, check truncation system, it is 31st September 2021. So now when come to RBI, it is the headquarters of RBI, it is the background related to RBI, it is headquarters RBI and present governor of RBI, Shaktikant Das. It is a static part of this RBI. Now you have to remember this abbreviation also, it is CTS, it is check truncation system. So you can find on if you are having checkbook, and you can find on that it will see some left side it is vertically they will write check trunking system like CTS 2020 or CTS 2021 like that. So you can find it is like that check is eligible for check truncation. Now moving on next question, the question says for the overall execution and monitoring of the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. For overall execution and monitoring of the Startup India Seed Fund scheme, government has formed an expert committee. So they are asking name the head of that expert committee. Friends, the question is simple. So recently our government of India has made one committee for monitoring this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So they are asking name of this committee, the head of this committee. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. H.K. Mittal, B. Sanjay Kumar, C. G.D. Sinha, D. Vipul Bansal, in none of these. Hence the government has constituted an expert advisory committee for the overall execution and monitoring of this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So this committee would be chaired by option A, it is H.K. Mittal. So this committee chaired by H.K. Mittal from Department of Science and Technology. So government has took this H.K. Mittal ji as the head of this fund scheme, this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So this is he is this expert committee advisor. He is the head of this expert committee. His name is H.K. Mittal. So option A is the right answer for this question. Now moving forward in the session, the question says government has earmarked rupees 945 crore corpus for the SISFS scheme for providing seed funding to eligible startups through eligible incubators across India. So the asking question is expand this SISFS scheme. We'll see the options. Options are A. Stand-up India Seed Fund Scheme, B. Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, C. Startup India Social Fund Scheme, D. Stand Up India Social Fund Scheme. In none of this. Friends, in earlier question we had seen regarding this SISF, no? So, thus Government of India has earmarked rupees 945 crore corpus for this SISF scheme. So, abbreviation is Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So, in earlier question, we didn't get any idea about the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. No? So, in this question, we can see what is this SISF fund. So, it is a government given some corpus, that is 945 crore rupees for providing seed funding to eligible startups through eligible incubators across India. So, this scheme has been approved for the period of next 4 years. So, next 4 years means starting from 2021 to 2022 and further 3 years like that. So this scheme has been approved for the period of next 4 years, from 21 to it is 4 years, 2021 to 4 years. So when it comes to this question, the right answer is Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, SISFS. Now next question says, what is the GDP rate estimated for India by United Nations body UN Conference on Trade and Development for the year 2021? What is the expected GDP rate? So we'll see the options. Options are A 5%, B 5.8%, C 6.5%, D 6%. So the right answer is option A, it is 5%. So the UN Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, so the abbreviation you need to remember. What is that? The UN Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, has projected our India's economy to contract by 6.9% in 2020. So due to this COVID pandemic now. So however, this the UN body estimate that GDP forecast to record a stronger recovery in 2021. So they are expecting our GDP will grow by 5% for the year 2021. So the UN Conference on Trade and Development now, they are expecting our India's GDP grow by 5% for the year 2021. So it is 5%. Option A is the right answer. Now next question says, what is the projected GDP growth rate of India in calendar year 2021 as per Moody's analyst? So in earlier question it is UNCTAD now. So this question it is Moody's analyst. So they are asking GDP projection rate, growth rate. Now which are the options? Options are A 12%, B 11%, C 10%, D 13% in none of these. Friends, the Moody's analyst, they have projected the Indian economy to grow by 12% in calendar year 2021. So Moody analyst, as per their analyst, our GDP growth rate is expected by 12%. Now next question says, name the new wholly owned subsidiary set up by public sector bank, Punjab National Bank, to manage its non-financial support services for credit card business. So simply for doing this credit card and other services, our Punjab National Bank has made one subsidiary company. So they set up one subsidiary company. They are asking that company name. That subsidiary company, it is wholly owned subsidiary of this Punjab National Bank. Now we'll see the options. Options are A Punjab E-Cards Limited, B Punjab E-Services Limited, C Punjab Cards India Limited, D Punjab Cards and Services Limited. In none of these. Friends, our state-run public sector bank, it is Punjab National Bank, has set up a wholly owned subsidiary, namely PNB Cards and Services Limited. Punjab Cards and Services Limited, PNB, Punjab National Bank Cards and Services Limited. So option D is the right answer for this question. So for managing their credit card business. So for managing their credit card business, they set up one company, a small company. So it is subsidiary of this their banks only. It is Punjab National Bank subsidiary company. That company name is PNB Cards and Services Limited. Now when it comes to static part, the headquarters of Punjab National Bank, PNB, it is New Delhi, and tagline of this Punjab National Bank, the name you bank upon. And MD and CEO of this PNB, Mallikarjun, SS Mallikarjun. Now the question says, which multinational telecommunications company in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solutions? I'll repeat the question once again. Which multinational telecommunication company in partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solution. Which is the options? Options are, these are the multinational telecommunications companies. So option A, it is Reliance, option B, Samsung, option C, Nokia, option D, T-Mobiles. In none of these. Friend, right answer is option C, it is Nokia, and Nokia in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop 5G radio solutions. That is, so it will be developed with the help of this Nokia's radio access network RAN technology. So these three companies has tied up with this Nokia, so for developing these 5G radio solutions. So if you want to know about this 5G, 5G is about to connecting things everywhere, so while enabling new use cases. So it is a 5G radio access network uses 5G ratio frequencies to provide wireless connectivity to devices to deliver these incredible applications. So it is more faster than 4G. It is advanced technology of 4G. So now 5G phones are coming now. So these three companies are working on this 5G. That's it. Just to remember, this Nokia in a partnership with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services and Google to develop this 5G radio solutions. That's it. That is enough. Now next question says, which insurance company launched the non-linked participating individual saving plan Bachat Plus plan recently? So which insurance company has launched this saving plan? The plan name is Bachat Plus plan. Which insurance company has launched this Bachat Plus plan? Now which is options? Options are A, Life Insurance Corporation of India (LIC), B, United India Insurance (UICL), C, New India Insurance Company, D, Max Life Insurance Company. In none of these. Friends, this Bachat Plus it is launched by our LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, our state-owned insurance company. So this Bachat Plus, it is a non-linked participating individual saving plan. So it offers protection and saving features by providing financial support for the family of deceased policy holders any time before maturity period. So the main concept, the main feature of this Bachat Plus plan is it offers protection and saving features by providing financial support to family members who are deceased persons. They are saying it offers 1 lakh of minimum basic sum assured with no upper limit. So it comes with a maturity period around 5 years. So the basic idea, if you want to know about this Bachat Plus, you just Google it, and I'm giving this basic idea. So the policy amounts, the basic sum assured will be minimum 1 lakh, and that maturity period is 5 lakh. That you have to remember. And when it comes to static part of this question, the LIC. So LIC, it is headquarters Mumbai, and present chairman of LIC, his name is M.R. Kumarji. So M.R. Kumarji is the present chairman of every LIC. And if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my Involving YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.